Good afternoon from Crew Stadium in Columbus. It's the OHSAA Boys Division I State Final. Mentor and Mason, this is our pre-match report. It's a sunny, breezy, and warm afternoon in Columbus as we get set for the Division I State Championship. The Comets and the Cardinals, a couple of teams who have been successful in recent days, but looking for a first state championship. More on that in just a bit. With Chris Black, I am Dwight Burgess. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. Good to have you along for a couple of teams that have been successful as of late, but neither of these sides really knows about winning the big trophy as of late.
That's right. They've had a great season this year, but they really need to get this win today. Someone's going to get their first title.
Of course, Mason's girls played for the state title in Division I last night. They did not go too well. The Mason boys trying to turn the tables, and they're coming out of a very tough semifinal match with Lakota West.
Yeah, that's really their biggest test so far, and they managed to get through it, and they're on to the final.
All right, we'll take a look at this Mason team. It's a veteran side. They have a predominant roster full of seniors, but it's also a team that has experience. They got into the Final Four a year ago. They're looking to take that next step, and this is the group that they will put out on the field today as part of their first 11.
Yeah, in that group, you really want to look like Jack Clark. He has an assault on the scoring record here at Mason. Over 20 goals the last 2 years and 11 and 12. He looks to add to 2013.
Yeah, Jack Clark, no question. They're going to have to keep track of him.
Back inside Columbus Crew Stadium as we continue with the pregame festivities, the respective rosters, and now the starting lineups being introduced. It is as good a day as you could hope for in Central Ohio in the second week of November. Sunshine, temperature in the 50s. It is breezy. And although traditionally here at Columbus Crew Stadium, the wind tends to stay at the plaza level, we do notice that all four corner flags are blowing today, so wind is definitely going to be a factor. And this, of course, already a gigantic field, the largest field that any of these players will play on during the course of the high school season. But for the first time, Chris, in this state tournament 2013, we actually saw a team warming up by practicing some crosses just to sort out the dimensions of the pitch.
Yeah, it's been very surprising. Not many people have kind of figured out how big is this pitch, how is the wind going to affect the ball, and obviously one team has a nice advantage that no one's taken advantage of yet this weekend.
A couple of teams that have yet to lose this season. One of them is going to go undefeated. Mentor looking to claim their second state championship, though the first came back in the 90s, so no one really directly affiliated with the program at that time is connected to this team, so the nerves are going to be present throughout the roster. For Mason, they're back in the Final Four for a second consecutive year. They are a senior-laden team. They are experienced. They are confident, but they have to figure out a way to win the final, and that test is before them over the next 80 minutes.
You know, of course, Chris Payne, second-year coach here at Mentor. Obviously, like you said, he certainly wasn't affiliated as one of these kids the last time they got here. But nice job by him getting them to the state finals in just 2 years. And much like Walsh Jesuit, if they get to the final, they win. All by it, this is just their second chance.
Neither team has given up a great many goals. In fact, neither team was particularly tested until the latter stages of the state tournament. One of the things that we'll keep an eye on today is what happens when one side or the other claims the lead. These are not teams with experience playing from behind. That changes the mindset. It ratchets it up the pressure just a little bit. Doesn't mean they aren't capable. It's just something with which they are less familiar.
Yeah, and only 13 goals against all year for Mentor and 5 for Mason. And unbelievably, their closest games then, obviously, end of the year, it gets tougher, but it really has happened the first time they're stressed. Regional final against Lakota West, overtime, only been stressed once. They made it through that time, but can they do it again if they get stressed today by Mentor?
Lakota West has got to be sitting at home scratching their collective head saying, what do we have to do? We had a draw with Mason in the regular season, and we lost in sudden death, or sudden victory, as the case may be. And instead they're watching while Mason is playing, attacking the south end to start the first half. 40 minutes. Clock will count down. And we are underway. The Comets in their green strip head to toe. And the home side on the scoreboard. Mentor in the all-white with the red Comets trim to push the other direction. Little nudge there, play on given. Quick interchange. Zach Lust right in the center of the park. He's got help on the left side. A hint of handball, but no call. Of the two teams, Mason's been more inclined to go forward quickly as they do now. It's a good turn away from pressure right in the center of the park. Clark chips it up and over the top on the left side, but the flag is up for offside. Quick feet, and the ball is taken away. Conkright goes out to the right side. Jack Clark, 1v1, wants the baseline. Cuts back with the left shoot, sends it in. Ball deflects, drops at the penalty spot, and is cleared away. As Colin Eady shows, receives, but loses possession. Diagonal and onside. Jack Clark, edge of the box. Service, header, right in front, rebound is there.
Huge reaction saved by Matt Markowitz under pretty much zero time to adjust to it. Wasn't the prettiest save, but it got the job done for Mentor. Well headed down too, difficult to deal with there by Mason.
Clark posted up, does well to find Bramwell. And the throw in for Mason stays with Bramwell and Mason. Back to Grant. He'll penetrate, looks for the combination. Header into the box, knocked away, and Josh Grant, the captain, who went up aggressively on the return half of that give and go, called for the foul.
I really like how Jack Clark's always playing the ball to get himself in a better position. We saw it earlier when he's looking combined with Rob Bramwell, and then right there you saw it up in the air, flicks the ball up to somebody to try to get himself towards that goal. He finds some space on his own, or he can help manipulate his teammates, put him in a nice position for goal-scoring opportunities, which is probably one of the reasons he's such a prolific scorer.
J.J. Iro and Bryce Curran check in for Mason. And they're on the attack and offside. Immediately into the game to substitute Curran. No hesitation on the offside call. Good diagonal ball behind the defense.
And a real nice step by the left back for Mentor. If he doesn't step that time, I really think Mason's in there with the first goal of the game.
Markowitz has some pressure, handles it coolly.
Yeah, Jack Clark was calling for his second pressure coming behind him. It doesn't seem like Mason wants to chase in that final third, but if you're going to pass the ball back to the goalkeeper like that, not a bad idea. Get some pressure on him, just hope for that mistake.
Little back and forth right in the center of the park. And then the foul against Mason, Jack Clark specifically.
Yep, just ended up clipping his heel there with his knee. Nothing malicious, but he couldn't catch up to him or get around him.
Out of bounds. Miller hustles back as the ball is put in the middle. Oh, wide open on the near side. If the pass can be played, it is. Took a little while to develop. Right in front. Ball deflects and is cleared away. Right to J.J. Iro. Dribbles into some danger, but finds Clark. Clark can't make the ball work the first time, but ever aggressive, stays after it. And that effort pays dividends. The Comets continue to play with the ball. Up into the box. Miscommunication leaves an open net. Shot is not hit hard and cleared.
From up here, we obviously can't tell if anyone called for that, but someone's got to put their name on that ball and get it there for the Mentor back line or goalkeeper.
Attacking pressure continues by Mason. Above the D, flat pass off to the right side. Curran. Not quite quick enough to elude the pressure, though it is a throw-in. And more changes for the Comets. Bramwell returns. So does Zach Lust. And Cameron Henderson returns. to the attacking half of the field. All the substitutions to this point have been to Mason. Mentor preparing a couple of changes. Long throw, headed down, top of the box, cleared away.
Which that substitution pattern's been very similar to how the Mason girls did it as well. Much deeper on the bench than Walsh Jesuit was.
It's a good tackle and well done by the referee to allow play to continue, and then that bent ball in the breeze causes some confusion. And Zach Lust down deep for the Comets, and another throw-in upcoming. Eric Liddell comes over to take it. On its way. Deflected top of the box. Drops once. Right-footed shot. Stung well. Saved in front. Rebound is off the crossbar.
As much as Mason deserved that goal, I think Markowitz deserved not to have a goal scored on him. He did everything right, but his defenders didn't come back to the goal as the shot came in.
Ball in the box again. Markowitz very quickly off his line. And throws it out to the left side. Forward pass is popped up in the air, and it's actually going to go backwards in the wind. Inadvertent contact, says the referee. And the ball out of bounds.
See, Clark's hit was actually coming down a little bit. A lot of spin on it. Markowitz did well to face it, but his Mentor defenders didn't come back to goal on the shot. And Mason's attackers certainly did right there.
As the first half has progressed, the scales have gradually tipped in the favor of Mason. And keep in mind, Mason is, though they play predominantly on the ground, working into the wind in the first half. 10:20 left. It's a good try there, and the flag comes up.
This could be a late offsides. He did come back into front of the offside position to score. And that's what the hold-ups, and the last guy to know, I think, is Jack Clark, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, it was late recognition on the part of the referee. Though I'm not sure why he's bringing the ball back if it was put and restarted, Chris, in the right spot. Yeah. Mentor shouldn't have to wait for Mason to finish celebrating the goal that didn't count.
Yeah, that's one of the tough things that's there. The only reason that possibly he should be doing that is if he had signaled for goal. And in that case, he would just wait. And you can see right there. Oh, yeah, and that's probably, he started the signal goal and he took his arm back down. So he might have had a little bit of feeling of remorse there to make sure he let it get back to fair. I think that's one of the reasons they can afford to sub less liberally than Mason. They play a lot more under control, less wasting of their teammates making runs. They're going to play so methodically attacking-wise.
Enough to keep Mason honest. Good bit of interplay. And good use of the body by Curran. It was a 40-minute segment of play that opened up with Mentor dictating the style of play and the pace of the match. But as the half progressed, it was Mason that took responsibility and was denied close. Halftime activities coming up when we come back. Scoreless at the break, the boys Division I final. Back inside Columbus Crew Stadium, just about set to kick off the second half. Scoreless, this D1 boys final, Mason and Mentor. But before we begin, let's take a quick look back at the opening 40 minutes, Chris, and how we got to this point. It was Mentor in their white uniforms who had the early opportunities, but Mason who came on strong later.
And Mentor built so well up to those opportunities, but they didn't finish them off that well once they got in the final third. But then Markowitz, for Mentor goalkeeper, under consistent pressure, and then Mentor still struggles getting anything substantive off of those opportunities. But again, in front of that Mason, Markowitz a huge save. And again, stress. Jack Clark so active in front of that goal for Mentor. You have to do something with. And so far, they kept him out of the goal, but he's spending way too much time in front of the Mentor goal.
Substitutes in the first half, starts half number 2. And the ball's into the box, and an opportunity. Oh, great recovery defensively. And then a chipped ball, but nobody home to receive it. Clearing touch is not a particularly good one, but it works out okay in the end as it ricocheted for a goal kick.
At that point, Metro would take a corner kick to get the result they did right there. Jack Clark with a wonderful touch to get himself in a great position, as we see right here. And he takes a little bit too many few touches there. Obviously, as Metro then can kind of catch up. And that was number 16, Kurt Rainey, catching him with that sliding tackle, stopping what would have been a point-blank shot at Matt Markowitz in front of that Metro
Had to put
goal.
himself right into the middle of this one.
Yeah, you kind of wonder if the changes that were made because of wind are affecting both teams adversely.
This is really good stuff by Mason. And then a bit of indecision by Zach Lust, though he did finally turn and take the shot.
I like what Zach Lust was doing there. Pressuring that ball, kicking it to one side. He knows they're going to want to play with it right there. And he almost helped his partner, Jack Clark, get on the end of that ball right at Markowitz's feet.
Clark, can he get into the box? Nope. Weak side help came in and in very timely fashion. It's a good combination play. And a deflection and an opportunity. No, the ball skipped away. The shot couldn't be taken. Still no shot. Now the cross, and it rides the crossbar away.
And J.J. Iro is there lurking at that back post, wanting to get on the end of something. And Jack Clark pulled the ball away to maintain possession as the keeper came out. Very fortunate for Mentor to still be zeros on the scoreboard.
3/4 of the way through this 80-minute match, the most recent opportunity for Mason.
Yeah, that bounced right over Clark's thigh, so he couldn't turn that ball back in. And by the time he was able to turn the ball around, his cross too direct off the top of that crossbar.
Game still looking for its first goal, not for a lack of opportunities here in the second half. Into the box, Markowitz. In swinger. Headed out high. Shot, oh, it's a beauty, but high. That ball just jumps off of Jack Clark's boot.
Just tell how much confidence he strikes the ball with. Look at him walking away right there, thinking he's going to get one today. The odds tell him he will. The original clearance there off the head. That ball didn't rise much. Well struck ball by Jack Clark. Just a couple feet too high.
At midfield, no further. It's good work defensively. Comfortably played out of the back. Just over 17 minutes remaining in this boys Division I state final, scoreless. But here's the opportunity, ball checks in, it's in the back of the net. A beauty.
You just knew it was coming at some point for him. What a great time to run and get in behind and put that ball away. Great ball chipped in through that backspin, making it sit a little bit so that Markowitz can't get to it. And Jack Clark can finish it calm, confidently with a little chip over Markowitz as he comes out, as he invariably had to at some point.
Every bit the legitimate Division I goal scorer.
Number 19, Jack Clark.
He's shown us the ability to drive a good ball from distance. And when the moment demanded finesse, he had it.
I believe that is now Jack Clark's 73rd goal
Coming up for the comments
for the University of
number 5,
Cincinnati
Caleb
commit.
Griffith.
Clark on the move. Ball rolls away. Edie forward, misses his target, Lombardo. Now Clark. Does he have the wheels to get in behind? Almost. Still on the ball. And the composure to look for help.
You credit him, too, for keeping on playing. There was a little bit of contact. No foul there. You would have seen some lesser players just go down and hope for the best. He kept playing because I think he believes he'll still score.
Since scoring the game's first goal, Mason has not changed the way they're playing. They continue to press, looking for that second goal, which in all likelihood would seal this one away. Corner kick, it's driven in pretty well. Knotted back out top. Interestingly enough, the goal scorer, Clark, doesn't go in after those. He stays high and looks for those opportunities.
Yeah, and now we've seen twice on corner kicks. He's had nice shots in right off that clear. I think you might need to account for if you defend on another one, put a player up on him, goal side. Do not let him have another free crack at it.
Held yesterday. This is the first of 3 being played today. It's a good touch. And Clark's on the move. Caught from behind, but cuts around the defensive pressure. Bends one towards the far post, but it's wide of the mark. Now Bryce Curran comes back.
You can tell what he's looking for, trying to bend that to that far upper 90. Obviously a little bit adventurous, a little bit out of range there. Especially with the wind changing that ball trajectory.
And out of the goal in the long shot, nothing wrong with that. And that is probably going to do it. Final 10 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Comets of Mason, undefeated in 2013, and now the 2013 Boys Division I state champions.
Two very, very good teams today. Fun to watch the contrasting styles.
And deservedly over to celebrate with their supporters. The school's first soccer state championship. 1-0 is the final score. The presentation of individual medals and the team trophies will come up in just a bit. And we'll have it for you as we continue with Time Warner Cable Sports Channel's presentation of the Boys Division I State Final. Mason, the champions. This is how the match played out after a scoreless 40 minutes in the first half. The second half opened up in very familiar fashion as Mentor really began pushing the issue.
Yeah, and they still stayed indirect the way they started things, but then you start seeing that final ball being more direct and getting closer into goal. And they got some opportunities, obviously not as good as Mason's, like this one right here. To sit that ball down on Jack Clark's feet was absolutely amazing by Mason. Just sat right for him. And then Jack Clark kind of took over with opportunity after opportunity.
It really became clear, didn't it, that if Mason was going to score today, it was going to be through Jack Clark. Whether the second to last or the final touch, he was going to have it. And in the end, in the most pressure-filled moment of his high school career, he came through calmly, coolly, and now he is there with his teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. And great team effort. A lot of people contributed. But when you have that score up top, it certainly makes your life a little easier. When you know you can rely on him to take care of a couple things. It's mainly scoring goals.
And he'll move on to the next level along with a bunch of these guys. Both of these teams, as we talked about throughout the contest, senior laden. That presents a new challenge for the respective programs. But this is one back-to-back trips to the state tournament. They lost to the team that went on to win the title a year ago. They beat that team this year, did Mason, and then knocked off a very, very talented and wonderfully coached team from Mentor, who carried themselves very well, and for want of a better finish in front of goal in the first half, the match may have turned their way.
Yeah, absolutely. And could you imagine if Mason was chasing Mentor? Mentor up 1-0, that ball moving across the field would have been so aggravating for the fans from Mason, but it wasn't going to happen that way. Instead, Mentor was chasing the game. But they stuck to their game plan, and they almost got a couple back. But just very, very patient to the end. Credit to them, because that's how their goal was going to come if they got it, was indirectly moving that ball around and finding the right opportunity at the right time.
Now, if the coach and the seniors would please step forward.
So once again, we will go back down to field level here at Columbus Crew Stadium for the awarding of the championship trophy.
State championship trophy to the Comets.
One more time, let's give these two fine clubs a great round of applause. Comet fans, are you proud of this team? I saw a shirt out in the lobby, and it said unfinished business. Last year, you made it to the Final Four, and today you put the exclamation on unfinished business. You're going back. What a great season. 22 wins, and there's only 2 teams that are finished their season undefeated. But one of them still has to play yet, so you may be the only team to finish your season undefeated, and that's an unbelievable feat in the state of Ohio. And today you did something else that's very, very special, and you'll remember forever. You earned the right today to be forever called a state champion, and no one can ever take that away from you. On behalf of our 830 member high schools, we want to present you the state championship trophy to take back to Mason High School and show it to your fans with a lot of pride. Congratulations, Comets.
Congratulations to the state champions, Division I, the Comets.
2013 OHSAA Division I boys state champions, the Mason Comets. The final score, one final time, Mason defeats Mentor by a 1-0 scoreline. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter for updates and program information. That's at TWC Sports OH. You can also check out our high school football schedule for your region on our website at twcsportschannel.com. For Chris Black and the entire Time Warner Cable Sports Channel crew, this is Dwight Burgess saying thanks for tuning in. One final time from Columbus Crew Stadium, the 2013 Boys Division I State Champions, the Comets from Mason, a 1-0 winner.